And while they were here, they always wore masks. One of the biggest criticisms I hear about the martial arts is that a lot of people go, man, you train me to do all this stuff and then you don't want me to use it. What's the point of me learning how to do all this karate? Because everything's karate to them. What's the point of learning how to do all this stuff if I'm not even going to use it, or you telling me not to use it on people, or somebody can just shoot you? What is the point? Well, the point besides self-improvement and fun, whatever happened to fun, and health benefits, and if you're in a situation where a lot of violent encounters happen, actually, where there are no weapons involved, you will have an advantage. Or if you are still going to be at a disadvantage, you may be able to escape, especially if you're smaller and weaker than the person who is attacking you. Now, all that being said, the martial arts can't protect you from liars and manipulators. At that point, that's where that's where you're gonna have to get into psychology and 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 spirituality, awareness, learning about relationships. Eventually, after you study those things enough, you will start seeing that there are some crossover in terms of principles, like judo redirection. If someone's coming at you with a verbal attack or accusation, there may be a time when you don't resist it, you let them hang themselves, and then you redirect what they're saying towards the truth. Okay, this is where things that they teach as tenets in taekwondo definitely come in handy: courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit. And there was one group I saw online that also added humility in there. Courtesy can keep you from being beaten up a lot of times. Integrity can keep you from being around people who can get you in trouble. Perseverance, when you're dealing with the liars and the people who want to use you or abuse you, you can persevere through that. Self-control will keep you from abusing drugs and, doing unhealthy things, or keep you from, you get mad and it's just that one time you decide to, as some people used to joke, reach out and touch someone with a fist, that gets you in all sorts of trouble. And indomitable spirit, that you don't let people pressure you into doing bad things because you stand strong in your principles. And being humble, humility. A con artist told me once that they take advantage of people because I'm paraphrasing. He says their pride, they want something for nothing. They think that they're all that, so they're blind to the attack that's being directed at them. Okay. That is the type of stuff that physical punch kick, what we think of as martial arts, can protect you from. And when we start getting into things where the martial arts could protect you, then we're getting into realms of things that people are going to consider to be spooky. Like if you do energy work, eventually you can start sensing the energy of others. Now, you don't have to do energy work to do that. If you're a very religious and spiritual person, and you also study psychiatry and psychology, even as an amateur, you will start to pick up on some of those things if you pay attention. That's why when the people like Mark Mac Young, that's why I like to talk about him from time to time. If you start reading his books, he can give you it just from a sociological standpoint, even dare I say psychological standpoint. That stuff not spiritual per se, but from what most people would consider to be practical. That can teach you how to spot people who may want to do you harm. And that's the part of martial arts training that, instructors a lot of times we just can't go over in class. And when I do try to go over some of that stuff in class, students just don't believe you. Because first of all, most of the students are kids, so they don't really have the life experience to really tack onto it. If you get any that are adults, they're probably still young adults, so they probably don't tack onto it. And if they're older adults, They've already figured that out. Otherwise, they wouldn't have survived to the point of being an older adult. So you don't have to go over it with them. So that can be a limitation of the martial arts is that it can't directly protect you from psychopaths. It can protect you from psychopaths if you're being physically attacked by the psychopath and you need to fend off the psychopath. Yeah, you've got training that will help you with that. But the thing is, you don't want to get to that point. You don't want to get to the point to where you have to go, like I call hands on. You don't want to have to get physical with anybody. You don't want to have to go hands on because once you do that, you're running a greater than zero risk of ending up with having problems with the legal system. So that's why when you want to start talking about the martial arts and things leading into self-defense, awareness is truly the goal. Fortunately for us, we live in an age where we can do a lot of Googling on the internet. We can attend seminars. There are a lot of good books out there. I've already mentioned Mark McYoung. Also look up the Women's Self-Defense Summit. That's got some good articles and videos if you register for that. I've attended a few of those things. Some dynamite stuff there. And if you want to go at it from a religious standpoint, you need to crack open that Bible. You need to read both testaments. And you need to think about on your own how that stuff applies today. Because I don't think human nature has changed very much since those books were written in the Bible. And if you can, talk to a psychiatrist or a psychologist about it. There's a lot of stuff in the self-help section too that can tell you how to spot abusers and warn abusers. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that tells you how to deal with narcissism and things like that. So there's information out there on handling the bad people. You don't have to go into energy work to do it. And the thing is, some of the stuff I've managed to avoid myself. It's from me doing energy work and being sensitive to energy. And it's not foolproof because there's nothing guaranteed. There's no 100% guarantee anything that's going to protect you from all harm absolutely everywhere. It has just reduced it. I've been able to minimize what I call psychological attacks from people. You could call them social attacks too. By sensing that something was off by the person just because of energy, it just pops up, it just shows up. That's not something that I'm paid to teach. It's not something I can necessarily express in words per se because I'm having trouble expressing it now. It's one of those things where people who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. They're with me on that. And if you start talking about it to people that have never experienced it, they're going to reject you at best, or at worst, they're just going to bail and think that you've lost your mind and you're not going to reach them anyway. But I will go out on a limb here and say that one thing that can get you going in that direction is your forms. Practicing your forms over and over again is going to help you tap into that intuition inside yourself. I'm thinking maybe because it gets you in touch with your body, and that starts you being kinesthetically aware, which can start you to being emotionally, intuitively aware of yourself. And as you become more aware of your own emotions, you can start picking up on the emotions of others. That being said, please don't think that you have to believe that to get any sort of rank from me. The only thing you have to do to get rank from me, in case you're worried, oh my God, if I study with this guy, he's going to make me do all this weird stuff. Whatever's written down on the ranking requirements, that's what you got to do. Okay? We don't have to agree on everything under the sun. You do the stuff that's on the rank requirements. You do it well. You still show me that you got good character. You get promoted. That's it. Thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people that talk about the martial arts in peace. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.